What's up, you guys? It's Lo Beauty Demon. I'm back. Oh my god, it's been a while. Yikes. It's been a week and a half since I uploaded my last video and since I've even really filmed anything, and it feels kind of weird. So I'm sorry I was gone for so long. I'll fill you all in about what happened if you care. But first, welcome back to my video. If you haven't, please don't forget to like and subscribe and hit the bell notification icon so you get a notification every time I post. I don't know if I said that right, but it doesn't matter. So also, everything I say in this video, well, except for like the story I'm going to tell you about my hand, everything in this video is not facts. It's just my opinions based on what I am seeing and hearing on the internet. Please don't send anybody I talk about any hate, negativity, nothing like that. If you have something to say, go ahead and leave it in the comments below. That's what they're there for. Okay, first, before we get into, we're going to talk about Gabbie and Creepshow art. I didn't expect to come back and be talking about them. I had other things I wanted to talk about. I actually even did film a whole other video that I was in the process of editing, and I am going to upload that because it wasn't like as much of a time sensitive thing. But a lot of this stuff is new and developing, so I wanted to share it. But first, let me tell you about why I was gone. If you follow my community posts, I did post on there that I actually hurt my hand and wasn't just able to like post or upload or anything like that. I actually injured my hand literally 2 hours after my last video went live. So I was like responding to comments and talking to people, and then all of a sudden I just like dropped off. So I'm not going to show you like the full injury, but I am going to show you like where it is. It's not gory, don't worry, it's covered. So, but I'm just gonna show you. Ready? It's this. I don't know if you can see this bandage right here. You guys are probably all like, what the fuck? This girl actually was like bitching and moaning about a finger. But yeah, I know. Okay, let me explain a little bit. This little injury right here actually is right on my knuckle. My knuckle was bent almost completely when I cut into it, and it was a extremely deep cut, like really deep. So, a little bit of backstory. I'm an esthetician. I think I've talked about that and mentioned it, but if you haven't watched any of my beauty videos, you wouldn't really know. And I do like facials, medical aesthetics, stuff like that. I also do dermaplaning. Now, I was not dermaplaning a client when this happened or anything like that, but I was using a surgical steel scalpel and I was not practicing proper blade safety, which if you know me in person or like if you knew me professionally, I am a stickler for safety and regulation and sanitation, especially in this day and age, like, cool. So, but I was just in a moment, I was thinking really quickly and was just like, oh, I'm just going to use this real quick. Something was stuck in something else and I like broke off in there. So I just wanted something that could go up underneath it and pop it out real quick. And it did, it popped it out. But then I just kind of went plop, and then it went right into my bent finger, and it went all the way in. So then I had some coworkers who are nurses and MAs all look at it, and they were like, yeah, you need to get stitches like right away. Unfortunately, where I work, they don't actually do stitches, so they didn't have any of that stuff there. I was kind of like, what? And specifically, the place I work doesn't really deal with hands at all. So I went to an urgent care. It was awful. The urgent care wasn't awful. They were fine. They stitched me up. They did good. I ended up getting 3 stitches. I just had them taken out yesterday, and my coworker was able to do that. Technically, my finger's still open, so I do have some like surgical like a steri strip thing that's supposed to help keep it closed. They put it on people after they all have like small surgeries. Like I think I had some of those when I had like a laparoscopic surgery a long time ago, and like I know like pregnant women, like when they do C-sections, they'll use those a lot and stuff too. Yeah, like small things like that. C-section is not small. What the hell am I talking about? So yeah, it was really deep. I have not been able to bend my finger for 2 weeks now. Last night, that was really getting to me. Like actually my finger was starting to ache because I wanted to bend it so much. Now, I know it's like, girl, once again, it's just your fucking finger. But actually my whole hand was pretty sore because it was a very deep cut. I also lost a lot of blood. Like, I mean, I lost a lot of blood. So I was very tired for the next few days afterwards. I was exhausted on top of my hand being really sore. And actually for the first like 24 hours after I got my stitches, they injected so much lidocaine into my finger that was actually numb for 24 hours, but then it became sore. And I was just tired because blood loss. My body's making new blood. And now it's also working to repair like all the underlying tissue because it was a scalpel. It made a really good cut. So it was like a nice clean blade at least. So there was that. I took antibiotics just to be safe. Got another tetanus shot because it had been 10 years since I got a last one. So good on that too. My hand's doing a lot better. It's still a little sore like through the knuckle area because I think it's just my other fingers are kind of working a little more because, you know, this one's pretty much dead in the water. I can't do anything with it now. I never had stitches before, so that was pretty crazy. The fact that I am about to turn 35 this month, my birthday's this month, by the way, you guys. The fact I'm about to turn 35 this month and I just got stitches for the first time, I was like, well, okay, that's not bad. That whole thing kind of put like a damper on bloating and filming because I've just been so tired because of it. But I feel better. Stitches are out. I feel a little more like me. I still can't bend my finger right now. I bent it this morning by accident when I was waking up and doing that morning stretch and I screamed. I screamed very loudly. It really, 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 really hurt. And it's really itchy. And that's because it's healing, of course, but I want to scratch the fuck out of it so bad. And I didn't take like any heavy painkillers for it or anything. I took some ibuprofen 800. So yeah, that's what's happened to my hand. That's why I was gone for a little bit and I didn't have anything posted last week because this hurts and it still hurts and I keep trying to keep it elevated too because having a lot of blood pumping to it is pretty bad. Once I get more ability to like move it again, it's gonna be really sore for a while. I'm not looking forward to it, but I am looking forward to bending my finger again someday. That will be very nice. So yeah. So now I want to jump into the nitty gritty about Gabbie Hannah, what's going on with her, and then literally as I was kind of jotting down and making my outline for this video today, I happened across some more Creepshow art stuff. But first, I want to address comments on my last video about Gabbie Hannah and the wellness check because a lot of people called me out in the comments about what I said about wellness checks. So, I mean, the gist of it was don't call people, don't take it into real life, don't call the police. I don't even think I said on celebrities, I just said don't take it to real life. A lot of people called me out in the comments, which I feel rightly so, because several people did share their stories about how they had wellness checks made for them and it saved their lives. And at first I read those comments and I thought, well, okay, I get what they're saying, but they're relating it to them as, you know, real people. Celebrities are kind of different. And I mean, Gabbie Hannah is a celebrity. Even though it's weird to say that. She is. And taking it to real life is what I mean when celebrities, like it's scary. And also, a few people also pointed out that you don't need exact addresses to make wellness checks. I didn't know that. But that makes sense because you don't always know where people live. Like, duh. So, of course, I was like, you guys don't understand. I meant like celebrities, not like real life people. And I think I made this comment too because I literally made this comment and then cut my hand open, so I didn't really remember exactly what happened. I said, yes, make that call if it's somebody that you know in real life or means something to you, but like when we take it to real life with celebrities, that's when it gets messy. And I want to explain like where my thought process was with that because I see a lot of doxing in other communities and that's what it kind of jumped out to me as. It scared me, you know, it made me fear for her safety, which we'll talk about later, rightly so. And she leaned into the idea that it was somebody being malicious or stupid or something, so I kind of leaned into that too. But a lot of you pointed out it actually could have very well been somebody from her family. I mean, her family does live across the country. It could have been her ex who didn't want to bother her and then like cause any, you know, kind of commotion between the two of them, but he's concerned. There is a very good possibility that it's somebody close to Gabbie that did this, you know? And I was like, okay, point taken. I understand everything that they're saying. And then in those situations, those are people who are Gabbie's real life family and friends. So once again, it supports me saying, keep it to people you know, people in your real life. But then I started thinking about celebrities who have posted really concerning things online and it did end with their life ending. One that really jumps out to me actually happened just last year. Her name was Hana Kimura. She was a Japanese wrestler. And in Japan, she was on a reality show called Terrace House. I have not seen it. I'm not sure that you can find it anywhere anymore. And I don't think they even finished airing the season. But in it, she got into like an argument with a castmate because that castmate had actually washed her wrestling gear like in the washer. And if you know anything about wrestling gear, especially with female wrestlers, their wrestling gear is very expensive and it's all custom made to fit their bodies perfectly, because female wrestlers have to be able to do all the shit that the guys do and make sure their titties don't come out, and they look great and they look fun and they're like these fun characters. Hana Kimura's outfits were really cool. I really liked a lot of her stuff. She was a really good wrestler. She filmed the show pre-pandemic and then it started airing during the pandemic. Because of that argument, she started getting so much hate on Twitter and anywhere else on social media that she was, and she started posting I believe they were kind of graphic images of self-harm, and it did culminate in a wellness check, I believe, was made. I'm not sure who called, but she was found to have taken her own life. I thought of that, and then I thought about what I said in the last video, and it created such a gray area for me because Gabbie just rolled it off as a joke. I don't know. It just made it like a confusing thing. Basically, I just wanted to come on here and say, I hear what you guys were saying. I completely understand. There's all of a sudden becomes this like big gray area when the fourth wall between celebrities and us normal people is broken. And it's really hard to like navigate that because social media is so new and we're getting unprecedented access to people that we look up to, and we're getting celebrities that are literally just made from social media, like Gabbie Hanna, and their world is oversharing. So I retract that statement. Somebody told me to take the video down in a comment. I'm not going to do that because I don't want to take it down in terms, I feel like that would be like trying to hide a mistake or something. Instead, I want to make a clear response to it and say, you know what, you guys were right. I feel like it, instead of it being necessarily like a mistake, I feel like it opened up a conversation between me and you guys and people in the comments too. But it does kind of bring me into more of what I wanted to talk about as well, which was like overall thing initially, which is the idea that, I mean, Gabbie is clickbaiting her mental health. She's posting these concerning things, but then she's brushing off wellness checks for herself and almost like laughing at the possibility that somebody could actually care about her. It's like she wants to push people away. I mean, she's been clickbaiting it. She definitely leans into the fact that she is struggling. I don't doubt that she is struggling mentally, because there's no way that somebody can not be struggling when this is the kind of stuff that they're putting out on the internet. This is not the look of a happy person, unless she's like so maniacal that she is getting a sick pleasure out of this, which it could also be. I don't know. But she definitely leans into it, and I feel like it's for two reasons. One, it is to gain sympathy from her stands, but then it also, too, gives her stands fuel to use against other people. Like, how can you come at her? She's struggling like this. She's having all these mental health issues and concerns. And to be honest, I haven't really talked about like my mental health struggles online because I don't feel like it's abnormal. And maybe that's just me. I always thought everybody had some sort of mental health struggle in some way, shape, or form. And maybe that is also why I am a little hard on Gabbie, because I'm like, girl, we all go through this. But then maybe I'm like, maybe we don't all go through this. Maybe not everybody goes through the same shit that Gabbie Hanna and I go through in our brains. But she leans into this, and then she placates these wellness checks. So which is it? Are you struggling? Are you not okay? She said in a live stream last night she was not okay. That was the title of the live stream. She's definitely in a very obsessive state right now. She said she spent 16 hours painting and singing all day, which sounds glorious, but also sounds very obsessive. She's also obsessed with the Jessie Smiles incident. I'm not saying she's obsessed with Jessie Smiles. I don't think she is. I think she's obsessed with the entire idea of it. She's stuck in a loop of it. She can't get out of it. I know ADHD and OCD have a lot of very common similarities in them, and sometimes you can develop that obsessiveness that comes from that. Some people have also said that it is mania. Now, I actually do deal with manic depression. It's also called bipolar. I think that's what it's technically called now. I prefer the term manic depression because I feel like it explains it better. So yeah, it does seem kind of manic. I've been in manic states before where I do lots of stuff, and then other states where I don't do anything. There's a lot of ebb and flow out, I feel like, and I am very concerned about her. At one point, it like clicked in my brain that this is like a really mentally unstable person. She needs help. It kind of made me think about, now if you're a Real Housewives fan, especially New York, you know all about this. It made me think about Scary Island and Kelly Ben-Simone and how she was just being a complete wackadoo the entire time. And then at one point, Bethany Frankel and, oh my God, I cannot remember her name right now. Alex. Don't remember Alex's last name. But Bethany and Alex were like, wait a minute, we're actually dealing with somebody mentally disturbed. Because she's not in the same conversation that the rest of us are in. Gabbie Hanna's not in the same conversation that everybody else is in. But of course, I feel like the point of all of this is to promote her music. She uploaded a 6-minute video the other day that did have the little scribble of the date in there. So it does lead me to believe this is part of the series, even though it's like not, and it was called Gabbie Hanna Needs to Stop or Needs to Be Stopped. That's what everybody else's title is. I don't know if I've ever used that title. I've used something in similar effects though. So now she's just clickbaiting herself, clickbaiting her mental health. It almost seems to me like she's using mental health to sell this like tortured artist sort of thing. And it's getting really old. It's not boding well in her favor. Her fans are concerned about her. Drama channels are concerned about her. It's like she's the only one that's not concerned, and that's part of why I think sometimes this is all just a troll. I don't doubt that she's dealing with stuff. She's aware of her actions and how they're affecting people. And that's also kind of like taking off of what I said in my last video, which is your mental health is not your fault, but it is your responsibility, meaning you are responsible for your own actions if you are cognitively aware of what's going on, what your diagnosis is, and how that makes you act in the world. If you're somebody who can take care of yourself and consent to things, you're responsible for your own actions. She knows that her ADHD diagnosis makes her very impulsive and rash and makes her lash out. She posted screenshots of all of this in her videos. So she knows a lot of her actions, her responsibility. She knows what she's doing. What was crazy though, and this is also kind of piggybacking off of what I said about how I was afraid this is kind of like a doxing situation with the wellness check and how that kind of made me nervous. And that's kind of where my mind went because I see doxing happening in other communities and it freaks me out. Last night, Gabbie Hanna was doing a live. She's been doing some more lives recently on her home movies channel, I think is what it's called, Gabbie Hanna's Home Movies. I don't know. And it was like a 2-hour live stream or an hour and 30 minutes or something like that. So Gabbie Hanna was doing a live stream to her adoring fans. I think she was like singing and she was singing some of her songs. And then like right at the end of it, it got a little like weird. She started talking about 666. And on a previous live stream that she'd done like the night before, she had 666 watchers. And then she got a call from a blocked number or like a unknown ID. It wasn't a scam because it didn't say potential scammer. And then on this live stream, same thing happened. And then she told the live stream about it. It hit that number again and she got the call again. So she said that her grandma told her that that is the number of angels. You and your grandma, I think, are the only people in the world that think that. Hang on, you know what? I'm going to look that up because she said she wasn't into numerology, but maybe 666 in numerology is a number of angels. Oh, it's 4 sixes is an angel number. Yeah, no, she said 666 is an angel number and it's 6666. 4 is a symbol of balance and order. You may be going through a period of imbalance. The angels will send you this number your way so you can regain your balance. Also, this number comes to your life as a reminder of your responsibilities. Let's look up just 666 then and see what that number means. So 666 is the number of the beast. 6666 is an angelic number of balance. Gabbie Hanna said she was seeing 666. So she's been seeing the mark of the beast and she's interpreting it as an angelic number. That's concerning. And then she's been getting these weird phone calls with no caller ID. So it freaked her out. It even happened. She showed it on camera. I watched it. I saw it. And then she saw somebody on her porch. She grabbed her computer that she was live streaming from. She had her phone. She could apparently see someone. She didn't show it on camera, obviously. And then she called 911 on the live stream, you would hear the operator, and then she told the operator, I have to end this. I'm on a live stream. She did not want to share her address. Smart move. And she just posted this today. I'm not sure the timeline of all this, but she said, hi everyone. I'm sorry if I scared or worried anyone hopping on the live stream off. I think she's off the live stream like that. I didn't want to say my address on stream. And sorry for not updating sooner. I was dealing with things. They did a check of the house and it's clear I'm not sleeping there. Thank you for your concern. I'm okay. Pretty alarming. Watching Gabbie's recent behaviors and stuff, it's like there's two outcomes to this, and I've seen both of these playing out on Twitter, so I am not the only person saying this. One, somebody showed up to her house, and that is very scary. Do not show up to people's houses. That's fucked up. I will die on that hill. Terrifying. Two, some people have pointed out, and I was like, oh God, that's terrifying thought, but could be possible. Actually, somebody even commented this in the video itself, that it seems like she was becoming increasingly paranoid throughout it, especially at that end part, because she's talking about 666 and these calls, and that's literally when she saw the person on the porch. In fact, I'm going to just insert the clip so you guys can kind of see how that all went down. I'm going to kind of like clip and edit a few things, but I'm not clipping anything out of context, just like some pauses where she's like looking at the screen.
And then just again, it hit 666 and I said it out loud and it's August 6th. There's somebody on my doorstep. I'm dead serious.
LA City 911, operator 930.
I'm sorry, one second. Hold on, I have to end a live stream. I'm about to give my address. There's somebody on my porch.
Either way, whatever's going on, very alarming, very confusing. I'm glad she didn't stay there that night, that she went somewhere that she felt safe. And I just hope whatever is going on, she gets a handle on this, because she needs help. Gabbie Hanna needs help. Also, I didn't watch the Jessie Smiles videos. I said the last time I wasn't going to talk about that anymore. And honestly, she's posted like, what, 2 or 3 videos about this. And it's just like, I'm sure it's just the same shit. I didn't want to sit and subject myself to what, like 2+ hours of her talking about the same stuff over and over and over again. I'm done. So as I was preparing for this, I saw a video by a creator that I watch occasionally called Camilla. Now, Camilla is a creator that has around the same amount of followers I do. I think she has like a couple more, 1,000 maybe. I don't know. Maybe last year, she kind of got into a little bit of a beef with Dad Challenge Podcast, and Creepshow Art came to her defense and they became a little friendly. And Camilla even did like an hour, maybe longer interview with her on her channel. And then, of course, when all the Creepshow Art stuff started happening, people were looking to people she'd worked with and were friends with and collabed with. And of course, people looked at Camilla and were like, girl, what's the tea? What kind of shit did she tell you? And I mean, Camilla was like, it was kind of a surface friendship. I didn't really know what else to say. But today she decided to release some voice memos that she had from Shannon. And it was interesting. And most of these voice memos were about Gabbie Hanna, surprisingly. And some of them were about the Rachel Oates, Jimmy Snow, Gabbie Hanna debacle. And some of them were just about Gabbie Hanna and her series. And she also brought Ready to Glare. So it was, So, first, these voice memos, she kind of just trashes Gabbie a little bit. She says the same stuff that we all have in terms of she's definitely going through something. She is not well. She needs help. An astute observation from Shannon. Awkward. She does mention seeing a couple of her videos. Shannon said she saw 3 videos. She also makes mention of a David Dobrik video. So I'm assuming Gabbie Hanna is going to have some sort of video on David Dobrik coming out if she can ever move past Jessie Smiles. I hate David Dobrik. He's so annoying. But she said she didn't see that one. She saw the Trisha Paytas one, which Shannon thought was good. And then she didn't remember the other 2. Ashley Lilly confirmed that she did see the Race Gum one. So there's one other video that Shannon saw that she probably was sharing with other people as well. So I am curious as to what that 3rd video was, but she said she didn't even remember in the voice memo. Before Camilla even posted the voice memos and played them, she actually put up like a DM from Shannon, and it said, basically that Gabbie Hanna had low-key threatened Shannon at some point, so I was very curious as to what that threat was. And in the voice memos, she basically said that Shannon herself and Ready to Glare would have conversations with Gabbie Hanna, and at some point, Gabbie Hanna started to get mad that these two were not defending her, making videos defending her being Gabbie, because they knew private information that she'd shared with them. So she assumed that Shannon and Ready to Glare would leak this information. I guess I'm assuming that's why she talked to them in the first place. Shannon does even say, look, she was using me and that's fine. I don't know why I expected any different. Kind of weird that Shannon was fine with being used by Gabbie Hanna, because now we know Shannon was using a lot of people too. And Shannon even asked Ready to Glare to take down a video, and Julie let her know why it wasn't okay to ask her to remove a video like that. Gabbie kind of like cut them off and didn't want to talk to them anymore, but then like a couple weeks later she sent her links to some of her now infamous series, and there could be anywhere from 10 to 20 videos. But basically Gabbie is hurt anytime anyone ever says anything about her in a video, which I'm like, did she even watch videos where people mention her? I didn't think so. I also did not talk about Tipster's DMs that he had with Shannon, and there's been plenty of videos about that already, but these are just recent too. Shannon called him weak, and well, she said, you're weaker willed than I thought. So she already thought that Tipster was a weak person, and to me that's like, well, so you were friends with him because he was weak, because you thought maybe you can control, manipulate. She also like made fun of him for crying when she donated money, which no, we're not gonna shame any man for expressing any kind of emotion that isn't like complete misogyny and rage. I'm not like the biggest Tipster fan in the world, but like that wasn't deserved. He was a friend, as much as you can be to Shannon, it seems. There's been also all these like fake Creepshow art storylines going around of like a fake Twitter account and this person Odessa who had a podcast that was defending Shannon and kind of sounded like her if you like adjusted her speed levels and stuff. And I didn't really want to talk about any of that because it's all hearsay, and I don't think any of those people are Shannon. If Shannon was making a Twitter and acting like herself and wanted us to think it was her, she would not be like changing how she types and how she talks, and it would be so much easier for her to make a video or an Instagram post where we can see her or hear her instead of going on an app that she didn't even use before she left. Anyway, that is it for today, you guys. Kind of went over, crack my knuckles, went over a lot of things today. Let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. I am back. I am going to be filming a true crime video tomorrow. I'm really excited. Might be a really long one because there's a lot of shit happening in it. So if you're interested, tune in. And I should have a video up sometime next week. It's actually Get Ready With Me. It's on true crime, but I'm going to finish editing it and see what I think. So I might not even put it up. I don't know. I actually have a lot of videos that I'll film and then I'm like, this is garbage. I'm not putting this on the internet. It happens. And remember, if you haven't already, please don't forget to comment down below, like and subscribe, hit the bell icon so you get a notification every time I post. I will see you guys next time. Laters. Okay. But is there a cat down here? No, there's no cat. That makes me sad.